Hello, it is Reitanna Seishin, and this is actually a Reitanna Says. I love my background right now, that is adorable. So, speaking of Goku and Vegeta, it's really funny because I'll make a lot of references in this little story that I'm making. Let's see, what I actually made a concrete giraffe's Slender Man reference earlier. It was pretty funny. It was the quote where he's like, Slenderman, what have I told you about eating children? And then Slenderman goes, but it's what I do. If you haven't seen Concrete Giraffes, go watch it. And then I also, for some reason, they were talking about like paranormal stuff, and they were like, well, obviously ghosts don't exist because we've all been dead, you know. And then, well, we had halos, so does that count as being as angels? And they're like, well, I don't know. I mean, we were still visible and stuff. And so they ended up talking about vampires, and Goku goes, what's a vampire? And Yamcha goes, it's a dead guy that sucks blood. And Krillin says, and turns into bats. And Videl says, and sparkles. And Yamcha kind of just looks at her, like, disgustedly and goes, what kind of shit have you been reading? Vampires don't sparkle. And the really funny part is I put in a part where Vegeta completely acts out of character, and I guess they go to a coffee shop, where all of them go to a coffee shop, and Bulma's like, you should totally drink coffee, and Vegeta's like, you know I don't drink coffee, and Goku's like, why don't you drink coffee? And Bulma's like, well, she tries to explain, but Vegeta kicks her, and she basically forces one on him anyway, and he's like, fine, I'll drink some, and then he ends up actually having a couple of cups of coffee and just becomes completely and utterly caffeine hyper, and it's hilarious. And he starts doing stuff that he wouldn't normally do. He starts like laughing at stuff. He flicks little balls of ripped up napkins at Yamcha and Krillin, and then he sets a napkin on Goku's head and says it's a hat. And then sets another napkin on his head and goes, and the hat has a hat. And then they fall onto the table, and he freaks out, and he what does he do? He rolls all of the napkins into a ball. Let's see. Nah, no, that's not it. What's going on? One more thing is, it's a hat. The napkin slowly fell off his head and back to the tabletop. Vegeta gasped, no! He said suddenly, grabbing them and rolling them into a ball and chucking it at Gohan. Oh my god. Kakarot! We should get cookies. We can eat them, and then let's throw more stuff at Krillin. It's funny. And we should go find the Dragon Balls and wish for a giant hamster ball and just run around in it right through the city. And people will be like, what the fuck? It'd be hilarious. Oh my god. I was kind of writing this at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I had no idea what I was writing. Now I'm reading it, I'm just like, dude, Vegeta! We should go find a dinosaur, you know, one of those things that chase after you trying to eat you. We should write it. It would be so pissed. Then Bulma explains he doesn't like drinking coffee because he gets hyper. It's happened only one other time, and after it wore off, he vowed to never touch the stuff again. Let's see. Vegeta, I think we need to take you home. I think we need to take me to your face. And then his coffee cup is empty, so he tries to drink more out of it, and he's upset because his coffee cup is empty. He goes, Kakarot, can I have yours? I want yours. I want your coffee. What is it? What does it have? I know it has coffee. Okay, what else does he say? Oh, okay. He goes, I would do anything for you. I want you to always be by my side. Never leave, okay? Don't go anywhere. Not even to Mars, because Mars sucks. And Goku goes, I'm not going anywhere. And Yamcha says, why does Mars suck? And Vegeta goes, because that's where you're from. And then, You should get me something. You should buy me a present because you love me, and I love you. I'll get you a present. What do you like? I'll get you a big cake or something. I don't want to walk. Carry me, Kakarot. He gives him a piggyback and he goes, onward to the dwelling from whence we came. This is all stuff that I would do. Oh, and Krillin's like, this is the greatest thing ever. And then he starts singing. First Vegeta starts singing Hungry Like a Wolf, and then he starts singing Cher's song, Believe, and then he starts singing the Bumblebee Tuna song. Yum yum bumblebee, bumblebee tuna. And then let's see. He runs to Trunks' room. He kicks the door open. And he goes, Trunks! And they kind of stare at each other. And he goes, waffles! And Trunks is like, was that my father? Like, seriously? And then he shows Goku a nest of ladybugs, which is actually from an actual life experience, because when I went to elementary school, there was in the springtime there was this huge nest of ladybugs, thousands of ladybugs just in one area, and it was awesome. And then he darts away. Goku is trying to keep him at Bulma's house in case he crashes, but he darts away, and Goku's trying to catch him, and he goes, Vegeta, I think this is incredibly adorable. Well, we need to go back to Bulma's. And then he goes, your mom is a Bulma? Hey, Kakarot, we should get an ocelot. Okay, but only if you come to the house with me. Vegeta goes, never! And he goes, ocelot, lots and lots of ocelots, locelots, lostolos, lostos. And then he crashes. It's hilarious. I'm just reading that, I'm just freaking, that is fucking ridiculous. How much more time do we have? Oh yes. It was awesome. That's probably my favorite part that I wrote. I'm sorry. It was fantastic. Another thing I did is hang on. Dun dun dun. That's not what I was originally going to show you. Okay. Anime. Yali. I wasn't in the mood for drawing, and yet this popped into my head. This is an actual part of the story that I was just reading from, where it's really funny. I also made this reference where, you know, in Domination they played Spin the Bottle. And so then in this one, they got bored, and Bulma was like, let's play Truth or Dare. And Krillin goes, hang on. Let's see what the entire conversation is. Okay. So, what are we going to do until the meteor shower? Goku asked. How about we play a game, said Bulma with a sly tone. Vegeta furrowed his brow. I'm not playing Spin the Bottle again, he snapped. I wasn't thinking Spin the Bottle, Bulma replied angrily. I was thinking Truth or Dare. That's not any better. What's Truth or Dare? Asked Goku, and Vegeta stared at him incredulously. What does it sound like, Kakarot? You have to either tell the truth or be dared to do something, he said slowly. Bingo, said Bulma. Now come on, let's play. No way, said Vegeta. You are not roping me into this one, especially if Videl is playing. I'm gonna skip some of this part. It can get pretty intense, said Krillin. You know, I was thinking, aren't we a little too old to be playing these games? Everyone was silent. Krillin looked around nervously. You know, like we're just doing this to fill in time gaps or something. What are you talking about? Said Yamcha. I'm just saying, said Krillin. It's almost as if we're only playing these silly games because there's nothing else exciting to write about between earlier events to the meteor shower later. Did you say to write about? What the fuck are you talking about? Said Videl, furrowing her brow. Krillin stared around at the confused expressions. I don't know. So basically Krillin was aware that this was a story being written and that the only reason why they're playing a game is because I had nothing else to fill the time in with, and I didn't want to be like, hey, doody-doody-doo, and then a couple hours later, doody-doody-doo. So that's where that is, and that's kind of fun to do stuff like that. So that part I illustrated very shortly in here, which it looks amazing. Mike goes, why does your Vegeta look so preppy? And the reason is because in the story, Videl and 18 totally, like, force Vegeta to come with them, and they get his ears pierced and crap, and he's like, oh my god, I can't believe you did this to me. So Goku goes, what's truth or dare? And I just, the reason why I wrote this comic was specifically to make this facial expression. Specifically. So he's like, the fuck? Vegeta's like, what does it sound like, Kakarot? And then to make these chibis, can you just hear cricket sounds? You have to either tell the truth or be dared to do something? Bingo! I love that. I love this perfect facial expressions. Perfect, absolutely fantastical. What is my desktop now? Aw, Fatal Frame. That's an awesome, awesome game. Ocelot. Lots and lots and ocelots. Lots of those. Lost toes. Oh, okay. I was thinking about doing a walkthrough of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I'm probably going to do it anyway, whether you guys like it or not. I'm going to try to get it so that it doesn't do that glowing square thing. And I know I already started it in another Reitanna Says, but I think it would be coolio doodly-doo-doo-doo to actually walk through it. If I don't die a lot. And sometimes I die a lot. It's kind of, sometimes it gets a little difficult, especially when Harry decides to not follow your directions and fall off a fucking cliff. But it's easier because it's not as slow as it was on my old computer. So that's probably, I'm going to probably start that today. Take a little break from writing because I was writing this morning. I don't know what else I want to do. I'm also writing a second Reitanna comic. Instead of doing a cartoon right now, I'm working on the comic. It's a little longer than the first one. But I have the ideas, so I gotta do that every so often. So, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later, next week, probably, because I still have a 40-hour week ahead of me, and stuff. So, see you like either next Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on what I feel like doing. Okay. Reitanna Station, outie.